Let's continue with where we left off. Which was getting attacked. That's where I left off. Slowest walk.
Listen very closely and do as I say. Your life depends on it. Hand over everything you're carrying. Weapons, ammo, clothes, armor, everything. I want you stripped down to your underwear.
Not receiving enough. Oh well.
There's nothing to talk over. You can strip down and hand over your equipment, or you can die. Take it all off and hand it to me. Then come inside and through the door at the rear of the chamber. Paladin Ramos is waiting for you.
How the hell did you get in here? Normally I would have already shot you, but I'm under orders to bring you to the Elder. Will you come peacefully? Okay. I'll take you to him. Follow me.
How did you find us, stranger? And do... You took an extreme risk in coming here. My policy towards trespassers has not been lenient. The security of this bunker is my foremost concern, and I take pains to minimize our exposure topside. For this reason, I might be interested in contracting with an outsider. An NCR ranger has begun to set up post in one of the other bunkers up top, for example. Very well. I'll be interested to see how... Paladin Ramos will escort you back to the bunker's entrance and set you loose. Notice that I said, you are not free to carry the secret of this bunker's location beyond Hidden Valley. To underscore this point, you'll be fitted with an explosive collar. Wander off and it will detonate. Focus on your mission, and...
You'll find your equipment in the chest to your right. Don't bother coming...
Let's see, that's... Actually, since I'm all, like, decked out on Caesar's Legion stuff, he'll probably try to shoot me right away.
How did you resolve the situation with... How do you know he won't be missed? That other Rangers won't come looking for him? That's right. Because you did nothing to find out. It would seem you are a brute. But even a brute can be of use. Since you completed your assigned task, I will allow you to come and go from the bunker freely. So let's get that collar off you. There, that's better, I hope. Now that we have that bit of unpleasantness out of the way, there is... Stop by the command room when you can. Oh, and bear in mind, if you end up betraying...
Hello.
Hello? When you first showed up on our doorstep, I'll admit at first I didn't know what to think. After giving the matter some thought, however, I've decided that an outsider could be of great use to me right now. However, I will not force you to help us. Should you refuse, you will be allowed to leave here. Though no, we will be keeping an eye on you. What do you say, outsider? Are you willing to help us? Then allow me to explain our situation. This bunker is currently locked down, allowing no entry or exit, with you being one of the few exceptions. In exceptional cases, teams are sent out to investigate sites or retrieve materials deemed too important to ignore. 3 such teams have gone missing recently, and the news of their disappearance has not yet been widely spread to avoid... In order to maintain the peace and adhere to the strictures of the lockdown, I need to send... While that is disheartening news, there remains hope that the other 2 patrols may still be found alive. I'm glad I can count on you. Oh, and one other thing. The shielding of the bunker prevents us from actively tracking them, but their positions should show up on your map once you... Should our worst fears become realized, please bring back all 3 of the holotapes from the patrols. I've given the order that you be given access to some of the equipment our scouts and patrols have... You won't be allowed to purchase any prohibited equipment, but...
So, you're the outsider that's been given leave to wander around freely. Desperate times call for desperate measures, I guess. Name's Hardin. I'm the head paladin of this chapter, and I think we might be able to help each other out. I don't know what the Elder talked to you about, but I can tell you this chapter is in trouble, and he's at the center of it. Are you willing to listen to what I have to say? Why should you trust the Elder? I'd recommend listening to both of us, and choosing whom to trust for yourself. So are you willing to listen? As you may have already heard, this entire base is under a state of lockdown. No one goes out except small patrols at night. Most of the chapter has been sealed in here for years. And those few who were outside when the lockdown was initiated are forbidden from returning. Morale has plummeted as time has gone by, and many of our current paladins haven't seen combat outside of training simulations. And all because of the Elder's explicit order that no one be allowed in or out. The only I don't know. I've gone through our records dozens of times looking for a precedent regarding the dismissal of an Elder and come up with nothing. The people who are most likely to know how it could be done are also some of McNamara's strongest supporters, so they refuse to help me. Which is why we're having this conversation. An outsider such as yourself would arouse less suspicion asking questions about such matters. The fact that the Elder has some tasks for you means his faithful won't suspect you, and you have a line open to the man himself. In short, you're in a perfect position to help me. Will you at least think about it? That'll have to do. I'd recommend going to see Ramos first. You could also try to find something relevant in our data store, though last I heard Scribe Ibsen is having a bit of a problem accessing it. And if McNamara should give you any tasks, I'd ask that you kept me abreast of them. Report anything you find to me. What is it, outsider? Yes, I know the loss of the patrols has weighed heavily on his mind for some time. He took it very personally when they first went missing. That was when I first began to seriously question his ability to lead us. It's strange that he would ask you to find mission discs on them, however. The missing paladins were all on standard patrols, which don't need them. Only brothers sent on special assignments are given mission discs. If you should find any on the lost... It's not that I dislike the Elder, but I strongly disapprove of his current style of leadership. We're safe, yes, but at what cost? It's a travesty is what it is. Every second we sit on our hands down here is another second that we're not fulfilling our sworn... After lifting the lockdown, the first thing I'd do is send scouts out to recon the area. We need to know what's going on out there. Next, I'd resume patrols in the near vicinity, and begin sending search teams out to the spots the scouts reported were relatively safe. It's standard procedure when a chapter relocates to an area, but standard procedure wasn't our last Elder's style, either. Elijah was a strange one. His even becoming Elder was highly questionable, seeing as how he was a scribe. Typically only paladins are eligible, but an exception was made in his case on account of him being a genius. Unfortunately, whatever scientific acumen he had didn't extend to tactics. Trying to defend Helios was a blunder of the worst kind, and many brothers lost their lives because of it. Many of the senior paladins, myself included, advised him to fight a retreating action, but he refused to budge. We never did find out exactly what he was talking about. When the perimeter was finally overrun, the Elder had simply vanished. Helios was the worst goddamn action I've seen in a long, long career of fighting.
Your presence here, outsiders aren't even allowed to know that our bunker's here, let alone... You impressed Elder McNamara, obviously. He must believe that you'd be very useful. So, you've been talking to Harden, eh? He's been looking for a way to usurp McNamara ever since the lockdown started. Don't get me wrong, he's a good man. But Elder McNamara has done all right by us. If it weren't for him, none of us would have survived at Helios. I'll tell you what I told Harden. There have been only a few cases of Elders being dismissed from their posts in the Brotherhood's history. And those involve crimes that someone like Elder McNamara is just not capable of. You can look it up for yourself if you want. I'll grant you access to that portion of the history section of our data store. See Senior Scribe Ibsen about accessing it. I'm sure someone's told you all this before. Several years back, we were running our chapter out the Helios 1 solar power station. Our elder at the time, Elijah, had some kind of obsession with the place, which is the only reason we stayed as long as we did. That place was hardly defensible, and we knew the NCR was moving in on us, but the elder refused to budge. We never found out what he needed time for. Wave upon wave of NCR troopers hit us from all directions. We held out for a time, but we were grossly outnumbered, and they had more men than we had ammo. Eventually, our positions collapsed. Elder Elijah was nowhere to be found, so McNamara took charge and led what remained of us. We lost a lot of men and women, but we broke through and made it here. Who was Elijah, more like? He was our elder before McNamara. Right. Our mission is to recover and preserve the technology of the past, but Elijah wanted more. He sought ways to improve upon technology, make it better. When we found Helios 1, he was like a kid in a candy store. Kept talking about the potential, and he even insisted we set up our base there, against the objection of nearly every paladin. That's right. Nothing gets in or out of here without me. Normally, that would have fallen under my jurisdiction, but the Elder thought it'd provide a good test for you. Under the lockdown, only essential personnel are permitted to enter or leave. That includes supply runners and high-security patrols. All other personnel are forbidden to leave, and any personnel that were out there when the lockdown was enacted are forbidden from returning.
Actually, a little better to do this mission when you're late in the series, or the quest line.
Unauthorized facial pattern.
The dilemma of my position is that even the very hards are annoying to use. Hello, I will need someone to come over as soon as possible and clear out the old Vice President's data off the terminal, as well as reformat it with my personal information. Thank you, Carl. Carl, Vice President from Sarah Wing. Mr. Rook. For the last couple of weeks, I have seen a higher than usual rate of encrypted messages leaving the facility here. These messages use an unusual encryption protocol that I haven't seen before. I'm fairly certain that it isn't the DoD provided method, approved method. I fear that these messages may be assigned to someone sending interior mission, insider information. Ms. Wang, please continue your investigation until the messages and keep me appraised on any progress you make. In the meantime, please keep this information private. I will make sure the appropriate parties are informed, and please call me Carl. Carl, I made some progress decrypting the packets. From what I can tell, someone is sending progress messages to a secure offsite server somewhere, where I venture to guess I would say the messages are going to Poseidon, but I don't have enough proof to make a serious claim. Sarah.
Valid facial pattern detect. How may I serve you, master?
Neat.
Third floor access is for executives only.
Oh,
Thank you,
I
sir.
forget my luck is up really high on this guy. Neat. Office correspondence. Steve, can you send an email out to your engineers reminding them about our security policies? I'll be sending a message next week about our increased security protocols. Robco. Now that things have been set in motion, I'm going to be your new liaison and point of contact with Robco. I'll be handling anything that arises during your transition to the Robco family. My first priority is going to be tightening up your security as well. You know, Robco handles many classified projects. Because of this, Repcon will need a large increase to its security. We'll be sending some engineers and security personnel to discreetly install some enhanced security protocols. Most of it will be pretty inconspicuous, innocuous. Can't even read innocuous. Most of it will be pretty innocuous. However, all employees will be required to wear their security badges at all times. Please have your people start wearing their badges well in advance of our partnership becomes official. I think we'll make the transition easier. None of the security measures will be activated until I arrive on site. Hopefully by then everyone will be comfortable with the new rules. Thanks. Oops. Paladin, Martez, and Lander, you are to survey the ruins at coordinates, yada yada. Search for the components we need and retrieve what you can. As a secondary objective, compile a list of additional items at the site for future retrieval. thing. The encrypted message. I managed to get the password to Isley's computer. I'll forward it to you with the release notes to the Q-35. The prototype is going to be stopped here on its way to the Department of Defense. You should be able to intercept it on the road. Release notes. Quantum Plasma Modulator Matter Injector Rifle. Status failure. Note, while the V-32 didn't have the power yield of the 31 or the 30, we managed to increase the stability threshold by approximately 27.35%. This is promising, however, we still have yet to come up with a solution to the matter inversion issue. Version 35, failure. Version 34, failure. Interesting. I'm not sure where we got the data from. It is a completely different direction from what we've been working on. We managed to cycle the matter inversion using a polarized quantum spin. I think that we solved the issue with the compensation field, but I have high hopes for the next weapon. 35. Success. The data we received from Jean did the trick. We managed to get a stable build model. I don't think this weapon is ready for mass production yet, but it should show that we have working prototype. We should be able to get these issues solved in a later build. As you requested, here are the improvements when compared with the standard plasma rifle. Prototype matter rifle not suitable for extended field use. On average, the Q-35's high rate of fire rate, but the time between shots is more consistent. Increase in active bolt charge time, accurate at long ranges. Plasma charge has a 30% increase in energy. Julie, I'm sure you have heard by now about Robco's intentions to buy our company. In the past, you and I have been of like minds when it comes to the moral and financial future of this company. When Poseidon showed interest in those years ago, you helped me rally the board in order to keep Robco autonomous. I'd like to help with Robco. I'd like your help again with Robco. Piers claims that Robco is buying shares in the company to force a hostile takeover, and we won't sell willingly. I don't believe that they will be able to pull together enough shares without some approval from the board. I think that you and I will be able to sway enough votes to keep the company safe. I hope you'll have the standards, Leonard. I stand with you, Leo. Give me a few days to try and gather some support from my allies. On the board, I'll run the numbers, and I'm pretty sure you were right. We can fight this. You were right, Leo. You were right. Leo sent me a message last night. You've made the call to the board. I think with the numbers we're looking at pocketing from the Robco deal, we will have no trouble getting the board to vote no confidence on him. So the idea there being that the Leonard guy was most likely...
Valid facial pattern detect.
Why are you here? The Leonard guy was the main one who was proposing to keep things independent from Mr. House. And he's like, nah, I'm gonna buy you anyways. Thing. I don't want to go upstairs. If there's one place that's a maze, that's this location. Done this game so many... Done this game so many times, so yeah, I can't remember my way up and down. What is keeping me extra heavy? You? You keeping me extra heavy? The only thing if I could actually put on, it'd be great because, well, having the ability to get extra strength out of the power armor is always an upside. Even if I took it off, I still couldn't repair it. Well, we got a wine. Oh, that's still not enough. Neat. I thought that gave me the password. I think that's out of the one office. That's where the password actually is. So if you have a hard lockpick, you can go get the password. Plasma Defender. Great, I'm over encumbered again. Plasma rifle. Microfusion cells for days. I don't need that. Honestly, these won't even sell for hardly anything. I can also get the weight by just tossing out the guns, because it's not like I need the caps or anything. It's actually more trouble to go sell at this point than it is just to burn through the caps.
How may I serve you, master?
And the other one way up here, which is like, you always have to do the Nellis regardless. Like, the game always pushes you to come up here. And it's kind of annoying because, like, no matter which do, you can't ignore the boomers. They're like, oh, we gotta put the boomers on. And they're like, kind of like the most annoying faction to deal with.
Look, this isn't a great time. You and me both. The Elder wants this data store operational pronto, but it doesn't look like the damn thing will be working anytime soon. I could use some assistance, sure, but I highly doubt you have the technical. I suppose it couldn't hurt to get another pair of eyes on this. Maybe you'll be able to come up with something coming at it fresh. While the entire system is infected, the virus itself is spread across 3 terminals. The problem is, we'll have it nailed down in a terminal or 2, only to have it jump to another set of... You'll need to locate it on 3 different terminals in this area in 1 minute. Any longer and it'll jump, and you'll have to start all over. Locating the virus would probably be nearly impossible, but the pompous little bastard that wrote it made things a little easier for it. Normally, terminals infected by the virus just display gibberish, but we found that terminals the virus moved to had some real data passed to them. We were able to decrypt the data and discovered that it was just messages from the virus's writer, Taunt. When you find terminals with those messages, lock them down and move on. Find 3 of them before the virus jumps, and we'll wipe the damn thing. Best of luck to you. I'll tell the others to take a break so they don't get in your way. Oh, and I'll keep track of when it jumps for you. To maximize your chances, wait for my signal before you begin. The virus just jumped. Find which terminals it went to. Ten seconds.
Evening.
Damn. It's jumped. Did you want to try isolating the virus? All right. The virus just jumped. Find which terminals it went to. Ten seconds.
Huh? I disabled the ones at the end. I only had the 3.
That's it. We got it.
Oh, I
The
guess.
virus has been You actually did it. If you don't mind my saying so, I didn't think... But I'm glad to be wrong for once. Thank you, my friend. Please feel free to access the data store at your leisure. I'm only allowed to give you access to non-classified topics, but it's... I can understand how the man might be frustrated by the current situation. He's a take-charge sort of fellow. Standing around's not his strong suit. I myself often wish we could end this interminable stasis and begin moving forward again. Well, you'd have to get a senior-level member of the chapter to unlock a topic for you. I've given you access to what I can, but that's not much. The majority of topics fall under Ramos's aegis, since they'd constitute a security risk. You might have better luck with another member of the senior staff. Try talk... Oh, all kinds of things. There was already information regarding the layout and systems of this bunker, but we've since added our own data as well. Prior to the lockdown, we had extensively scouted the surrounding area and compiled dossiers on nearby points of interest. Hello again, my friend. I heard some Oh, you...
Yeah? It's our virtual reality train. Yeah, a lot more. Back when we were at the Helio station. Oh, I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to talk about that. Well, like just about every... They both died at Helios 1. Head Scribe Taggart quickly realized my extraordinary talent when I took the mandatory VR combat testing. Soon after that, he requested that I get transferred to VR specialist training. I miss hanging out with the other students all the time, but at least I get to skip all those boring lectures.
Good with a gun, but not much else.
Yes, what is it? Ah, the outsider. I suppose it's too much to ask that jarhead Ramos to keep outside. I am Head Scribe Taggart, and I am much too busy to deal...
Hello? What is it, outsider? Just as I thought. McNamara gave my men new orders. This little stunt is probably what got them killed in the first place. Our normal patrol routes are known to be relatively safe. This is exactly the kind of thing I'm trying to avoid by ousting McNamara. What is it, outsider?
Found the missing patrols, or... It's a protective measure that was enacted after our defeat at Helios. The NCR was hot on our heels, and it was decided that we would stay quiet for a time, heal the wounded, and try to come up. However, after we had fully recuperated, our first scouting measures showed that the NCR's... There are now more than 5 times the number of NCR troops in the area as when we fought them. And we have half the number we did at Helios. And so the lockdown has been extended. We have some personnel that are allowed to travel on the surface. They trade for what we need and occasionally drop off what they acquire. We make sure that they only enter or leave the bunker while the sandstorm is active, to avoid detection. That is this base's defensive system. It serves as camouflage and masks all entry and exit. We use it to hide... Found the missing patrols, or... They were all dead then. I suppose I'm not... But we must turn our minds to other matters. When I sent out those patrols, I also sent 3 knights out on scouting missions. When the patrols failed to return, we assumed the worst, and sent a single communication to the scouts to hold position and maintain radio silence. I want you to contact those scouts and gather their reports. When you find them, tell them you're my representative, and ask them if the bears are still hunting. Return when you've gathered...
Are you supposed to talk to the... I'm trying to do the Harden over Ramos, or McNamara. Where'd he go? There.
What is it, outsider? That's a sensible notion. Your familiarity with the nearby terrain... I've been trying to get the Elder to send out scouts for years, and he's always been resistant to the idea. I wonder what changed his mind.
Actually, I'm kind of curious.
Evening.
Does he give you any additional dialogue?
Hello again, my friend.
Let's see here. Gotta go out here.
What do you want? And don't... You speak truly, for it is unlikely that an outsider would know both the Elder's name and that passphrase. Very well. I've been observing the penal facility there in the distance for some time now, after having followed some rather disturbing rumors. The facility was run by the NCR for a time, but the prisoners overcame their guards and now use the prison as a base from which to conduct raids. What puzzles me is why these men have been allowed to run wild for so long unchecked. Why has the NCR not retaken this place? Give this to the Elder. My observations are all within. Perhaps he will have a better idea of what this situation portends.
Enemies nearby? Who's nearby? Neat. Alright, that should have done it. Really?
What do you need?
Huh. I guess they don't particularly care since they're part of a mod. They don't spawn him a faction reputation.
What do you need?
It's kind of funny. There's like a bunch of guys on there, and he's just like up here hanging out.
Approach slowly, stranger. Then I am sworn to report. I've been dividing my time between the camps to the north and south of here. One belongs to the NCR, the other to a band of slavers known as Caesar's Legion. I was sure the NCR would quickly win. Instead, the two sides maintained a long stalemate, and after an extended time, the slavers rose up and slaughtered the NCR to the man. That barbarians with such crude weapons could crush a foe that defeated us is food for much thought. Here, take my report to the Elder. He must be made aware of what happened here.
And then supply cave is up higher on the hill. Ah, shoot. This has been like one of the few areas that decided to like not let you go up on top of the mountains all the way.
Don't take another step if you value your life. Strange that the Elder should send an outsider. My observations have mostly focused on the small town to the south of here. It was cruelly attacked. That such an act could occur so far west is nearly unthinkable. The NCR has forces in all directions, and that they have not responded to this violence shows either an unwillingness or inability to properly defend their borders. I've collected such musings in this report. Please take it to the Elder.
I figured at some point they'd have the hunting parties out for me. Not too many times you gotta run this gun in a build. I'm trying to think what locations are over there. Oh, there's the toxic waste dump. Is one of the locations. I'm trying to think of the other one. Nope. Nope. No. Let's see here. I always forget about the toxic dumping site. Or it's like where a bunch of super mutants are hanging out. Oh yeah, in the Jackal Cave. That's right. Stupid. That's how I wanted to do. Wait, why is this guy dead? There's 3 of them. I only shot twice. Shot him so hard he went through the wall. just not really worth bothering all the effort and time to go sell things. It's kind of worth holding on at least to the power armor suit, because when I get that I can at least get a little more inventory. Oh, that's what it was called, Jackrabbit Springs. Oh, what? I'm still over encumbered? Oh. Get rid of that. Oh, it's completely broken. That's great. The Ranger Sequoia. All right. What? Oh my... Yeah, it must have worn out. Doesn't help that I'm carrying power armor on me. Double check to make sure I didn't have any extra weeded things in here. Don't need a butter knife. Guess I don't need those. Neat. Until I can sell things, I'm gonna have to run a wine, or I guess I got a whiskey here.
Oh, hey there.
Hello? What is it, outsider?
Full of developers to create a self-sustaining shelter for high-ranking VIPs that can serve as a command structure in times of crisis. The bunker itself is located several hundred feet below the surface. Multiple layers of reinforced material serve to prevent a breach of the inhabited areas by anything save for a direct hit by a buster bunker weapon utilizing a megaton tonnage considered outside the capabilities of America's closest competitors. In the event of our enemies becoming capable of such an attack, the dervish camouflaging system makes targeting the site impossible for automated systems, forcing aggressors to rely on guesswork and sheer luck. The Hidden Valley bunker relies on two main systems. The Candle fusion power system provides power to all bunker systems, built more for reliability and duration of service. The power outage of the system has been exceeded by many current designs, but it can supply the bunker with power for an estimated 752 years. The Dervish camouflage system provides visual and electronic interference to prevent airborne or long-range enemy weapons. For targeting a bunker, the normal silo around a Hidden Valley has been supplied with a combination of aluminum and various silicants, which are then dispersed using the widespread network of individual industrial fans to blanket the area in a cloud what is essentially chaff. Combined with the electronic countermeasures of the nearby array at Black Mountain, the bunker at Hidden Valley is effectively impossible to target. Elder Dismissal Incident 1. Let it be reckoned that on this day, Raymond Lore has been dismissed from position as Elder for committing the crime of murder. Brother Lore was known for hostile feelings towards the victim. Senior Scribe Brittner, the guilty party, insists that Grittner's death was a tragic case of a friendly fire. The bunker was under attack at the time, but the tribunal felt they could not let him persist as Elder, such suspicions hanging over him. 2, let it be known that from this day, Kenneth Jones shall no longer bear the title of Elder. Brother Jones was willfully gone against the chain that binds and has been forced to step down. Head Paladin Linnequist succeeded him as Elder. Number 3, let the record show that I have stone witness to the dismissal of David James from the post of Elder. Brother James was charged with destroying an unknown device recovered from a recent expedition. The purpose and function of the device remains unknown, and Brother James has thus far proven unwilling to discuss the matters with anyone. I figured since I haven't probably read those in a while.
What is it, outsider? I could hardly call myself head paladin if I didn't. It's one of the first things every initiate learns when they start training. I could be wrong, but I think that's a dead end. McNamara's always followed orders, and we've been incommunicado since fleeing Helios.
I don't think I can do it because I don't have the ability to do any of the hacking of the terminals. Yeah, it's all like trying to pop the terminals. I think if I get this one, I can talk to Romanos again. Ramos.
Oh, hey there. That's an old principle that's been around since the Brotherhood was founded. It basically means that it's pretty much common sense, but it gets invoked a lot when people get pissy about following orders. If you're curious, I'll give you access to the data store entry on it. You'd probably be the first.
Ramos. A guy named Louis. He is a excellent security guard. I met him one time at store, and he said I look good, so he's best. Chain that binds. The chain that binds is the cornerstone of the organization, the rock that supports the great tree of the Brotherhood and its myriad branches. It holds that orders are to flow on high. Orders are to flow on high down through the ranks. An order from a superior must always be obeyed, that their wisdom may be carried without hesitation. Orders to observe the flow and not skip rank. A superior may only give orders to his direct subordinates and not to those beneath them. In this way, harmony of intent and cohesion of thought is maintained. This guy's always sitting down when I see him.
Outsider? Second part. Then that means I can cast McNamara down for giving those secret orders to my paladins. There are a number of people I'll need to talk to. The process won't be instantaneous, but with this evidence, it shouldn't take more than a few days. And then we can begin moving forward again. Welcome, my friend. A new day has dawned for this chapter. And moving forward, we will no longer cower in the dark. And we have you to thank for it. Here, take this key. If you ever find yourself in need of repair, head to our safe house to the northeast. Now. Yes, I thought you might. given how much time you've spent here. That's not usually a request we agree to. Typically, we take in the young, so that they might be trained through adolescence. In special cases, we allow exceptional individuals to conditionally join. The condition is that you must complete a task. This task must prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that you have what it takes to join the Brotherhood. I happen to have something perfectly suitable in mind. Back when we were stationed at Helios, our scouts reported that a group was establishing itself in the area as a distributor of pre-war weapons. Our elder at the time, Elijah, was too concerned with getting Helios running and fending off the NCR. It's time that we correct that oversight and show this region that the Brotherhood is still a force to be reckoned with. I want you to visit these weapons dealers, this Van Graff family. When the job is done, report back, and I'll arrange for a team to clean up the site.
Since Van Graffs are technically in the pockets of the NCR, I think they would attack me on sight. I don't know if I want to add an energy weapon to my repertoire. I think I'm better off just pumping it more into the medicine. Or actually, I need to get explosives up so I can actually use the Mercy properly. Dang, all these options are not really where I want to dumping points willy-nilly. Could put Sneak up, not like I use it, but... There's so many speed checks that just require a minimum of 20. But there's none that require anything less than 20. And it's like, oh, 19? Oh, that's great. I might as well just dump them all into explosives. Oh shoot, I'm still over encumbered. Good thing gunners have no relational disposition to me. Even if I went in there and whacked them, they would still feel indifferent to me. Eh. I'm so close to being able to use it. should be just under the weight now, or I'm just barely under it. I roll a mercy even if I'm not in position for it. Seeing as I got my explosive up pretty high, what is my explosive at now? 77, so that's fairly low, but I think I took down the strength requirements for it with one of my other perks, so that should give me an advantage. Actually, this may not actually work properly. Oh, they killed him. Oh, yeah.
Over here!
I forgot I was going to run a psycho on here. I'm pretty sure that's all of it. I'm pretty sure all the weapons I just blast it to the ceiling got scattered all around. Let's see. Do I even want to bother carrying most of this stuff, or I just want to like, leave it here until I need it? That's probably going to be the better option, is just to leave it here.
Come on, man, I'm dying.
And I have high medical. Why can't this work with the medical option? I just need them for teaching power armor because I won't be able to do arcade Ganon for power armor.
A few of us wanted to thank.
Big oof. Seeing Caesar's calling in the group chat.
Welcome back, my friend. Well done. This is a small step in the... It is my honor to bestow upon you the title of Paladin of... Normally there'd be a ceremony and such, but everyone... I can give you this, however. Your very own suit of power armor. We can't spare our best, but I had the knights assemble this... Which reminds me. You don't... Here, I'll show you. It's easy once you get used to it. First, we'll start with putting it on. There. I think you got the hang of it now. Should be able to use any type of power armor you come across using what you just learned. Very well, then. In addition to the armor, I've given the order that all of our armor... I wish you the...
Alright, finally can put on power armor. However, this armor is a bit too dorky, so I'm just gonna wear the, go make some 51Bs, probably go get the Remnant armor. And then, give it the good old 1-2. Buckle my shoe. 3-4. Blow out the door.
At least with the lockdown lifted, I'll be able to resupply my store more often. Our patrols are up.
Oh, yeah, probably should have carried... Well, I can probably go back and get something. And those aren't at full, so I'll assimilate those. I won't need the combat armor anymore. It's a $9,000 thing that I'm trying to sell to her. Of course she won't be able to actually provide me with any caps. Because I'll have to sell it there at 8,037. So then I could sell this and just be at 1,000 cap deficit, which is probably the better option anyways.
Give me a shout if you need any.
Don't need to help them out anymore. It only gives me 10. But the power armor just wasn't like way too good in this game, then it just probably wouldn't be worth it. Alright.
I heard some special squad of Rangers is on its way to the Vegas area. I guess the NCR is finally getting serious about fighting the Legion. Now that Hardin's elder, I hope... Like he wanted to use me for target practice. The man just has no respect for science.
I think that's what you're supposed to do, is just like yoink them from Ramos and yeah, the heads. You're supposed to do it from the head guys. I may not be able to do it because Sneak ain't that great. I don't think I have a stealth boy. Oh, I actually do have a stealth boy.
Who's there?
Boy, this is Jink. I don't know if this is gonna work. This is where the stealth in this game is actually pretty dang jink. I was on to look at that. I had a stealth boy from next stealth boy 6. I got a minute left on it. Where do I gotta generate those? Insert them? What do you mean insert them? There's nowhere to insert them. I've never actually done it this way before. I've always had enough hack skill to get it done. What does it mean? That doesn't seem right. There's supposed to be something else I should be able to do here. Hello, it's not, there's not even an option here. I have all 3 cards. Did I not steal all 3 cards properly? One, two. I got. Those are 2 head paladin cards. Did I goof that one up a little bit? Well, shoot, I must have goofed it up. Well, who is the other person I gotta steal it from? Is it the medic?
Evening.
Or is the head medical person? Time is it? Oh, given it's 12 in the morning, people wouldn't be in their normal spots. I think that's her I gotta steal it from.
I heard there's a rumor going around.
No, she doesn't have one. It was Ramos. It's supposed to be Ramos, the scribe guy, and then Hardin. How come they don't... Is it supposed to be like there's 2 out of the one guy? Let me check Ramos again. That doesn't seem right. Because he's supposed to be head of security, so I thought I picked up his card. Oh, it's just another, this is a repeat of the same one, so I can take it from him or from... Wait, no, it was Elder card, right?
I heard a special squad of Rangers is on its way to the Vegas area.
It's weird, you can just peek in someone's inventory without them knowing. Yeah, he's supposed to have the Elder card, and then you have the Head Paladin. Yeah, I had all key cards. Hold on, did I fail to get the Elder card? I don't have it in my thing here. What? Wait, what? Maybe I failed to pick it up because I failed the pickpocket? That must have been it. Wait, hold on. How is that being caught pickpocketing? Oh, is that why I failed to get the Elder card? Because I must have failed the lockpick. That's what it was.
How may I assist you?
Alright, let's try this again. That's probably why it was all wacky. I just didn't have the proper setup for it. Like I said, to double check it each time. Alright, head pellet. Got that one. Which would explain why Hardin got up after I pickpocketed him, because it failed to get the key. I just didn't even notice the thing on the top saying failed. Got a risky for the bisky. That's right. I didn't notice. I'm good there.
It's only a matter of time. Commencing attack.
by order of Kaiser. Your
You can get a ton of XP just by whacking them at night.
I'm looking forward to getting sent across the river.
Has the Brotherhood been destroyed? Very well. This latest victory brings to a close my efforts to reshape the power balance of the Mojave. And not a minute too soon. I want you to join me in my tent. You and I are going to have a private conversation.
Hello?
All right, let's state the obvious. There's something wrong with me. The headaches started a couple of months ago. They weren't too bad at first, but now they come frequently and they're debilitating. For the past 2 weeks, my left leg has been dragging. It's stiffer, hard to move. And you've seen me blank out. Lucia says I stare into space, blink a few times, then keep talking like nothing happened. So what's the diagnosis? I figured as much. Congratulations, you just became my personal physician. Do you have what you need to treat my condition? Then gather those items together and hurry back to perform the operation. I don't know how long I've got. It's never had a functional diagnostic scanning module. Without that, it's useless for surgery.
You tumor brute.
It's been said that the autodocs were standard equipment in the underground vaults where mankind survived when the bombs fell centuries ago. You can search the vaults, but every autodoc my Legion has run across has been stripped for parts long before we found it. Some of my scouts did report an abandoned vault near Nellis Air Force Base. Oh, maybe the infestation has been there long enough to keep scavengers out. Do that.
I think I have it repaired to do it now. Nope. I have to go to Vault 34 for that one.
Morning.
Alright, I think that's a pretty good place to go ahead and end it for today. And I guess I'll continue it. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow, I don't know. And then I might do the DLCs. I might not actually, I probably won't on this save. I'm already getting kind of OP as it is. So I probably won't do it on these saves. But I might come back to this save at a later date. I've never really done at least the Zion or the Divide with a pure Caesar run, or I would do them after, like, well into the progress, or I would do those to begin that progress, I've used like the divide